Hello everyone, welcome back to Bits and Bob's Divination. My name is Caitlin and today we're going to be reading into the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for your week ahead, as well as your chakras. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back everyone who joins me on these Monday week ahead readings. I have so much fun reading for each of you, and to those of you who are new, I'm Caitlin. We do week ahead readings every single Monday. So glad to have you guys joining in. I do monthly, weekly, and timeless readings, as well as other fun, magical, creative content that I work on more slowly, but it is fun to see those come out. So if you're interested in any of that, feel free to subscribe and join this community, as well as hit that notification bell if you're interested, so you can stay notified of each of these Monday weekly readings. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and look at your piles this week. So first off, we have here for group 1, I went for sort of a necklace theme. So group 1 here is a necklace my mom actually gifted me that she's had in her collection for quite a while this week. So I was really excited to get it, and I thought I'd show it off a little bit for you guys if it was resonating for you. It's like a little cork bottle here with some metal around it. So if this is resonating, then this is the pile. This might be the pile for you. So that's group 1. For group 2 here, we have a 4-leaf clover in some resin. So if you are interested in this pile and this specific necklace, then this might be the pile for you. So set that down right there, coordinating all of these necklaces. And lastly here for group 3, there's this sort of peacock bird with this very like majestic flowers, feathers coming out with the jewels and sort of a darker chain. So if this is resonating with you, then this might be the pile for you. So that's pile 3. So I'll go ahead and set that back down right there. So as always, to help you guys make a better decision and to sort of ground yourself before this reading, let's go ahead and take a deep breath together. Feel free to choose any one of the piles. You can choose more than one pile, or play around, or, pause the video and really feel out which pile is for you. There's no right or wrong way to do this. You can watch the entire video or just 1 or 2 or 3 of the piles. So no right or wrong way to do this. Also, if you feel like you already know which pile is for you, feel free to go down in the description. I have all of the timestamps down there that you can click on, as well as the chapters built into the video that you can go ahead and move to your pile for. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started with pile 1. Hello group 1, if you've decided to choose this necklace, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set it down right here for you guys. You can see it in all of its beauty. And today we're going to be using the charms as well as the watercolor affirmations. We're also going to be using, as per request by my sister today, as it's her birthday when I film this, the Crystal Unicorn deck, as well as the Language of Flowers and the Chakra Love deck. So I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week, and let's go ahead and see what you have going on for this week. It's been a while since I've got to use this deck, so I'm excited to use it again today for you guys for a regular week ahead reading. So week ahead for group 1. We're looking for group 1's week ahead, group 1's week ahead. What energy, insights, or guidance do we need to know about for group 1's week ahead? Group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1. Okay, so first off, you have the 7 of Swords. Let's see what else you have. Group 1's week ahead. I'm feeling this one. You also have the Sun. Okay, and then group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for group 1, the week ahead for group 1. Group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 1. You also have the Star. Oh, this is so lovely. Okay, let's see what else you have for your week, Group 1. We'll start with the Language of Flowers Oracle. So Group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 1. What energy, insights, or guidance do we need to know for Group 1's week ahead? Okay, so you had to fall upright, so I'm going to use those ones here. All right, so you have here silence, listen more, and quiet be, as well as rejuvenation, calla lily, reawaken, and then stand stronger. So again, more lovely energy here between the Star and the Sun, and this rejuvenation and silence. I kind of have a story going on here, so let's see what else you have. Today we're going to be using the Chakra Love deck, as I'd mentioned, and it showcases a bunch of different crystals on the back as well as different chakras. So we're going to see which chakra you need to balance this week or work with this week as like a focus. So Group 1's week ahead chakra focus. What do they need to know about their week for their chakra focus? Okay, so you have the crown chakra, rainbow moonstone, calmness. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. And so here's rainbow moonstone. Oh, I just realized I didn't put on my rings, so give me a moment. I'll go put on my rings and I'll show you that rainbow moonstone. Alright, so I just went and got the rainbow moonstone ring that I was talking about. So it's got like this rainbow sheen to it, much like labradorite. So that's a crystal you could be using this week to help balance your crown chakra, which is your upper chakra. It's basically like a crown on your head. And it's stating calmness. To calm your monkey mind, do not feed the animal. So that's more of your messages this week. Let's figure out your last message here with the watercolor affirmations. So Group 1's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 1. Any energy, insights, or guidance for Group 1. Okay, so you guys have here, which way to go. So it's sort of a decision-making one where you're trying to make a decision or you're feeling a bit indecisive or making a fresh new move some way. This can actually be talking about like if you're traveling, where you want to go, or something more simple for the week, but it can also be you making a more intense decision. So take what resonates for you. But there is a lot of like calm, chill energy after the storm kind of feeling that I'm getting here. But there's definitely that rejuvenation energy because you have calla lily, rejuvenation, you have silence or, meditating kind of energy. And then you have the Star, which is all about sort of rejuvenation as well, and guidance, guiding yourself somewhere. So you might be guiding yourself somewhere to make a decision, or someone is helping you guide yourself to make a decision this week. You might have someone coming in to help enlighten that. But you also have just like a calm, chill week. So this is not the week to be like heading forth to do something intense or a week that is meant to override your mind. And if you feel like you already have a lot to do this week, if you already feel like that's happening, there's an urgency to sort of calm your mind this week. Just calm that monkey mind, that like crazy thought, that pattern that just keeps over and over and over. I've got this to do and that to do and this to do and that to do, to the point you've overridden yourself. So it's time to like give yourself some self-love, some self-care, take some time to just veg out on the couch, watch a movie, go outside, possibly go out in the sun, get some vitamin D. You know, those are really great ways to rejuvenate, recharge yourself. I feel like you might have been giving and giving and giving, possibly too much to another person lately. So you also have here the Seven of Swords, and the Seven of Swords represents a situation in which someone is either taking too much from you. You know, it can be like a sense of like you being so selfless that people are now taking advantage of that. So you might have just been giving too much, right? So that could be happening, sort of a selfless energy, but it also can represent someone just taking a little bit too much from you, or hiding a bit of the truth. This can also talk about concealment or holding on to something, withholding information. So this could be you withholding information from someone else, possibly about making a decision. Maybe there's something that you need to bring to the surface about a situation in which you've been sort of holding back. It's not necessarily that you haven't been being truthful or honest. You might just have been holding back some of that information, keeping a bit of it to yourself. So there could be, two sides to this. Some of you might be feeling a little bit more towards the side of feeling like you're withholding information, and others might be feeling more like someone else is withholding that information or taking a bit too much from you. And this week is about you, right? Because we've got the rejuvenation, we've got the sun energy, the silence and quiet. You have the star, which is all rejuvenating and chilling out, relaxing after something big has happened too, because the star isn't just like the sun. Like the sun is just positivity, optimism, lovely, wonderful, warm energy, which is lovely to have for your week, no matter what. It's one of the most positive cards in the deck. But here, the star is also a positive card. But it's more of one of rejuvenation, one of having the strength to get yourself back up again, or the strength to enjoy what's happened after like a big aftermath. So this could have been possibly in the past too, like past weeks energy, and now you're getting to rejuvenate and move past it. So you might have had someone in your life who was sort of taking advantage of you, taking advantage of your niceness or something like that, some part of yourself taking advantage of that selfless energy. Or you may have had someone in the past who just didn't really have your interest in mind, and they were sort of stealing from you or taking too much. And because of that, now the star comes right after the Tower card. And if you're familiar with tarot, the Tower card is not really one of the best cards in the deck to see, because it does represent a lot of growth, a lot of transformation, a lot of work ahead of you. It's good energy in the end, but it does require a lot of work to get there. And the star is what comes after that. So after you've done all the work, after you've gone through something that was quite difficult and harder to manage, possibly this situation of the Seven of Swords, of someone taking from you or taking too much, or you feeling like you had to withhold information about yourself or about your situation. Now you get to decide to what you want to do now that that growth and transformation has happened. What are you going to do with it? Where do you want to go? Things are much clearer now. Things aren't in an illusional state like the moon. Instead, you are more like the sun. The sun is clarity. The sun doesn't hide anything. It reveals the truth. It's just, when the sun is out, it's much harder for, any kind of activity that's going to require, people sneak in the night. People sneak around and that kind of thing. Where the night is out, not in the sun. The sunlight is when you're out and you can be playful and you can be honest and you can be truthful. You can be clarified. Like there's such good energy there. So I just feel like this is past energy that's coming in your week. And now you have that reawaken and stand stronger. I feel like this is like your card for the week. Like I feel like the tarot cards are telling some of the story, and the reason why you need this rejuvenation, why you're now at this star state where you've done the transformation, you've done the work. And this week is about chilling out, relaxing, rejuvenating in the sunshine, rejuvenating and figuring out where you want to go now that you've transformed, now that you've bloomed, And I'm not going to say that you're never going to transform again, or there's not going to be situations in which that's not going to come up. But this is the week to just, sit in that silence and chill out, sort of feel very connected to the universe, because the crown chakra is our connection to the divine, to the universe, to the one of us all, that like sort of hippy dippy stuff, but it's true. So maybe go out in nature this week. That could be really helpful for you in balancing this chakra, but also just feeling at one with other people and feeling that calm, silent, meditative, and mindful energy come in while you rejuvenate. Especially since the star is here, I feel like either going out in the sun or taking a nice shower or a hot bath, those sorts of things could be really useful for you. possibly gardening, or something that feels really calm. For me, I really like to knit or work on art projects or something like that. That's what really brings that calm energy for me, that like meditative, mindful exercises for me. So whatever that is for you, that could be a sport, that could be a hobby, anything like that. This is the week to take that on, because you've grown and there's a lot of growth here that's happened. You've overcome a lot, but now this is your week to just let everything go, let the past go, let everything just sit as it is, and be mindful and grateful, more so on the grateful and optimistic about your future now. Now you can be optimistic because you've gone through these situations, you've learned from these situations of the Seven of Swords, and you've grown and overcome those to now be able to enjoy life without the fear of that coming back in, if that makes sense. Now it's your time to just shine and have your own life and do your own thing. It feels very individual. I don't feel like this has a lot to do with other people. This is your journey, very personal growth here. And I'm really excited for you guys. I want to see where it's going to go for you. So I've been kind of blabbering on. So let's go ahead and look at your charms, group 1. I'm very curious. I'm always curious, honestly, about the charms. So group 1's week ahead. The week ahead for group 1. The week ahead for group 1. We're looking for the energy, insights, and guidance coming in for group 1's week ahead. The week ahead for group 1. Okay. So you had a few here that fell off, so I'm going to drop them and see if they were meant to be on the table, and they were. Wow, interesting here with this Tower charm. We'll talk more on it in a minute. Let me just pick up some of the charms that are in the center here, and we'll get some more clarity on those. So you have quite a few on the moon phases, which is kind of interesting, honestly, but let's go ahead and, zoom you in. Okay, hopefully you can see that. So first off, here in your center, this charm has been coming up a lot for a lot of people. So pets are really important. Young children in your life are really important right now, which honestly makes a lot of sense. It's not really zooming or focusing here, but it makes a lot of sense here with your sun card, because the sun does represent young children in our life. It can represent our innocence, our younger inner child. So you might be playing around with your own inner child this week, playing around and rejuvenating that younger version of yourself. You might be enlightening that, and that's really exciting. You might be taking that mask off, letting yourself be free. There's a lot of freedom here. Like I was saying, it's individualistic, it's independent energy, because here we have the mask, and if the mask falls this way, that means you've taken off your mask, and you might still feel this week that yes, all of this energy is on your side of like the star and the sun, but like I said, you might still be holding back. You might be holding and withholding information about yourself. You might not be being entirely honest about yourself, and that doesn't necessarily mean that you're being dishonest. It just might mean that you have your own secrets, your own bits about yourself that are just your own, and that's okay to withhold some of that information. It's okay to be learning about yourself and not feel like you need to be blasting it to the world. This is your turn to figure out who you are. And so you also have more clarity here, right? So we have a clarity charm, we have like inner child, and then the mask. So I feel like you're trying to reveal your inner child even to yourself. Maybe you've been withholding a bit of your inner child even from yourself, which can happen because things get suppressed or people hold us back, or we've had, like I said, you're going through sort of a growth. So you might still be transforming in that part of yourself with the sun and the star energy, but I think taking that time to be a little bit more playful in the sun, being a little bit more rejuvenating, and like enjoying the fact that you're just, a little atom in the universe, like this little human, the whole universe. Like, that's already really fun, playful energy. You also have here the Ace of Cups, which represents feeling very, not really overwhelmed by your emotions, but just that you have a lot of emotion this week. It's usually positive, joyful emotion. And it's usually not emotion that lasts a long time, but you're going to maybe have like happy tears this week, or something that makes you feel just overwhelmed for a moment with joy and pure happiness. So that's really exciting to see already. And like I mentioned earlier with the Tower and the Star card here, I feel like you've gone through a transformation, because here at the full moon, which can represent illusion in tarot, but for me the full moon represents, the full moon represents when we are the most enlightened part of our emotional self. So I think you've transformed bits of yourself emotionally, and that joy is coming in, that joy of the sun, of just like being your true authentic self. You're finding more of that, and that's super exciting. It's really good to connect with your inner child. It's really good to connect with that playful, innocent part of ourselves, because sometimes we can get so drowned out by like the adult side of ourselves that we don't get to enjoy the sunshine, and the stars and just the universe at one with us. So you're definitely had that transformation come in. You do have here a chakra stone that is either the throat chakra or the third eye. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out those specific cards and see what message still lies there. All right, so I got all of those cards now. I'm going to go ahead and pull you one. So what did we need to know about Group 1's third eye or throat chakra this week? We're looking for Group 1's week ahead message here with their chakra. What did we need to know here with these chakras? Okay. So here you have the throat chakra, and it says Amazonite, and this is what it looks like. It's a beautiful stone, so that's a great one to work with for balancing this specific chakra. And you also have creativity. Use creativity to transform your pain into positivity. That's what I was already talking about, right? That's so interesting, because I was talking about you taking a situation in which you've had to transform because someone's maybe put you in this position where you feel like you have to give and give and give, or you had to withhold parts of yourself for other people, possibly. And now you get to speak creativity, because the throat chakra is all about communicating your true authentic self. And here you have creativity, so you're using it in a creative way. You're speaking in a creative way. So maybe you're not able to specifically speak out about these situations, but art could be a great form for you. Like I was saying, to take up something to rejuvenate, right? Something to be mindful with, some sort of thing. And for me, that's knitting, but maybe some sort of creative task could be really helpful for you to communicate how you were feeling, to help you transform, and to guide yourself to which way you want to go this week, to move yourself forward. So that's super lovely, turning it into positivity, which is all of what the sun is. That's lovely to hear, because you also have here the foot charm, which is also in sort of a turquoise, which is related to the throat chakra as well. So that's super interesting. But it makes me think of a foot, because it kind of looks like a foot in person. So it's like you're finding your footing, and how to speak about an ugly situation, because this, honestly, I always thought it was a really ugly looking bead. I never particularly liked it. So I thought, why not add it to my collection as something that represents an ugly situation, or something that's disliked in some way. So for you, you're finding your footing with that. You're figuring out what to communicate and how to communicate using your creativity, which is a great way. Artists always talk about their pain, or their difficult situations, or the way they're transforming, or how they're feeling through their art or their creativity. And this doesn't have to be an art project necessarily. It doesn't have to be like painting or something traditional. Whatever form of creativity you have, it can be more scientific, whatever it is. For you is what's going to matter. So you have more transformation again, because here is like a transformation charm, but this also can represent notes or secret messages. So again, more withholding information. So you're cleansing that, because here the new moon represents cleansing or a new cycle. So that's something to be aware of. You also have the celebration charm. So this represents smaller mini celebrations, because it's a smaller charm compared to the larger one I have of this. So this can represent small celebrations. So this could be birthday parties, something smaller even than that, like a small celebration that's just very personal to you, job promotions, anything like that. But it did fall around the loyalty charm. So this could even be a celebration related to someone you're really loyal to, so like your partner, or a romantic relationship or platonic relationship in your life, a sister or brother, someone you're really close to. It could be, I'm sensing more on the either spiritual sense, because you have the spiritual sort of charm representing a deity or a goddess or a god or something like that in our lives. But it also could be someone you're sort of crushing on, or this can just represent a romantic relationship in general, because it's like these little doodly hearts, which means they're like on your mind. So there is some sort of celebration there that could represent a celebration that's recently happened with someone, or one that's coming up this week relating to a relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and recap here for your week group 1. Basically, you're going to be having a decision that you're making this week, but I think the decision will come in when you've started to figure out where you want to go, based off of finding your footing and finding that creative voice inside you to speak up about these situations that you've previously gone through and had to transform from, based off of this 7 of Swords, a situation that didn't really work for your highest good. And then you have the Star and the Sun, so rejuvenation, positivity, and guidance coming in this week, possibly from a more like universal sort of source. And then you also have silence and rejuvenation, so you're going to be more mindful this week. Take that time to sort of chill out and relax and rejuvenate and sort of recharge your soul, and not have it just sort of pile up with a bunch of stuff that isn't really helping you out in any way or balancing you in any way. And then you also have here for your charms and your focus ring is working on your inner child and letting parts of that side of yourself that you've been sort of holding in recently, maybe on this situation or in general about yourself, parts of yourself that you're still learning about, on your inner child. So that's sort of coming in as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'm really excited for this sun energy and all this transformation that's come and gone and started to create more solid foundations for you. Let me know down in the comments below if this resonated with you. I'd love to have a conversation down there about certain charms or certain cards that really resonated with you. And I'd also love it if you did give this video a like. It does let me know that you enjoyed the video and enjoy these types of readings. And if you're interested in these kinds of readings, I do put out these week ahead readings every single Monday, as well as monthly readings, timeless readings, and creative magical content. So if you're interested in those types of videos, please feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you a part of this family that we're kind of growing here, and it's been so much fun doing this with all of you each week. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will speak to you in the next one. Bye! Hello Group 2, if you've decided to choose this 4-leaf clover pendant, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set that down over here for you guys so you can see it throughout the reading. Today we're going to be using the Charms, the Watercolor Oracle / Affirmation deck. We're also going to be using, as per request by my sister whose birthday is today, she wanted me to use the Crystal Unicorn deck, the Chakra Love deck, and the Language of Flowers. So let's go ahead and get started on your week. I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week and that the month has been treating you well, honestly. And so let's go ahead and see what you have going on for this week. All right, so group two, week ahead. The week ahead for group two, we're looking for any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group two's week ahead. Anything we need to know about their week, any energy, insights, or guidance coming in. So here you have the Nine of Pentacles, the work hard and get all the reward kind of card. Let's see what else you have for your week. So group two's week ahead. So let's see what you have going on for your week ahead, group two. The week ahead for group two. What do we need to know about group two's week ahead? Okay, so these two right here. Okay, so you guys have a bit of a whirlwind here. So you have stuff that you are working towards with this Nine of Pentacles, but you also have the Tower and the Five of Pentacles. So, interesting. We'll talk more on those in a moment, but let's look at your oracle here. So, group two's week ahead, the week ahead for group two. Let's see what group two's week ahead has to say. The week ahead for group two. What do we need to know about group two's week ahead? Okay, so you have Mexican marigold, renewal, time to begin again, stronger and better. Already feeling that in for me. That's like really good to be seeing based off of the cards that you already have here. We're also going to pull you a Chakra Love deck card. These ones showcase different chakra stones on the back, as well as different chakras that you can be working on the other side. So let's see what you need to balance for your chakras this specific week. So group two's week ahead, the week ahead. What do we need to know about group two's week ahead, and what can they be using to help balance this week and renew themselves this week? So group two's week ahead, chakra balance. What do they need to know? Group two's week ahead, the week ahead for group two. Okay, so you got a full-on one because this represents a chakra balance card. So most of these have specific chakras to work on, like this one's the solar plexus here, but you got a like your whole chakra system needs a little bit of TLC basically. So you have a chakra balance card, and this one specifically is the general term of balance. Here it says embrace the balance between earth and spirit, and the crystals you can be using this week are clear quartz, rose quartz, and hematite. So I just quickly grabbed some of my stones here to show you. So you have rose quartz, clear quartz, and hematite here that can all be used to help balance, especially all together or as a group. So I'm going to go ahead and just set those down here for you guys to look at during the reading. So embracing the balance between earth and spirit represents talking to both the upper and lower chakras, because your upper crown chakra, very much on the higher part of your body, represents things that are much higher and more spiritual. As for like the root of our being at the very base of our spine, the root chakra, or the base chakra is all about, just our basic needs that we need in life, home, shelter, food, money, those sorts of things that keep us alive, our security, our safety net. So you're sort of working between those, and balancing throughout that whole range. So you're going to have a lot of transformation happening this week and balancing of different energy. So let's go ahead and pull you your last message here before the charms later. So group two's week ahead, the week ahead for group two. All right, you might have gotten a couple too many, so let's just try that again. So group two's week ahead, the week ahead for group two. Okay, so here you have, you have look for the signs, and I personally resonate with the number 404, so I put that on there. So if that resonates for you, that could be a specific sign, but mostly it's like looking for signs from the divine or from God or from the universe or whatever that you feel the source is for you, especially with embrace the balance between earth and spirit. That can just be embracing your spirituality this month, embracing that spiritual side of yourself, as well as working towards more earthly based things, especially with these pentacle cards here. But, embrace those signs that come in. Signs can come from birds, especially since we have the Nine of Pentacles here. And for me, specifically, the Nine of Pentacles always has a bird on it. And I have always thought of it as a sign, right? Because birds tend to communicate signs to us, or at least for me. So here you have this bird here. So that can be something about a financial sign coming in for you guys, especially since you have the Tower here and the Five of Pentacles. Not a great combination. So for some of you, this could be past energy, and I truly hope it is, that you've passed this energy and it's kind of passed you by, and now you're sort of moving towards this Nine of Pentacles, which represents luxury, prosperity, and having the means to not only create one good harvest or create like one good garden of ideas that bring money and prosperity in, but being able to do that multiple years in a row. As for like the Tower and the Five of Pentacles here, showcasing to me, for some of you, you've sort of gone through this in the past, where you've had to go through this Tower transformation. Maybe the work that you were putting in, the really hard work that you've been putting in to create these ideas wasn't working, and so you had to break down that tower and restart again, and maybe break down that tower and restart again. So you had to keep building a new foundation of ideas and growth to get to where you are now, where you can be financially stable and financially balanced and have that security blanket, that we all kind of crave. But here, the Five of Pentacles showcases that you didn't always have that. So because of the Tower, you've had to sort of go through some financial troubles, some less prosperous times, and you've had to sort of stick it out. And you maybe felt lonely or on your own, that you couldn't really find the community you needed, or you felt down about your hard work that you've been trying to put in, and that it wasn't coming to fruition. It wasn't creating this prosperity that you wanted. But for some of you this week, if this is resonating with you, if you feel like you've gone through this Tower moment and this situation has happened, then this is coming in for you. So that's super exciting, that you're going to be getting this Nine of Pentacles, that the signs are coming in. Listen to those signs that are coming in from Spirit and the divine spirit within us all, our soul mission or whatever, whatever that is for you guys. So I'm really excited for those of you who feel like you really are getting and benefiting and prosperous this week, that your ideas that you're putting in, that the growth and hard work you've put in are starting to, flower and bloom, and you're able to now take that and harvest it and utilize it. And that's so exciting. And the reason why I feel like it might have been past energy is because of renewal. So I feel like you've renewed yourself. You've created this Tower so many times that you've created a strong foundation in which to renew yourself. But with all of that said, I feel like for some of you, if you feel like this hasn't happened to you, you might be going through this week a bit of financial hardship, and it might be reversed. So if you feel like things have been going up and up and up and up and up and really, really well lately, that it's probably important to sort of look for community, make sure that other people aren't doing well possibly around you. And you might be having this Tower moment, this sudden change again, where you have to switch things up again, and it might just, it could be a very small hit to your finances. It doesn't have to be something really intense, but it can represent a more hardship there. So take what resonates and let me know down in the comments below what's going on here. But it's kind of got two sides here to each of this story. So take what resonates here. But honestly, truthfully, I feel like the majority of you guys are having the renewal moment, right? So you're feeling that like this is finally coming in for you. And I truly hope that is true for all of you, honestly, that are watching this pile, because I want you guys to have financial prosperity and harvest your good hard work and have these seeds come to fruition so you can now grow and have all of that, especially with embrace the balance between earth and spirit. That makes me think you're embracing not only the fact that you're getting earthly goods, material goods coming in, but you're also embracing spirit through the signs that are coming in and towards you, which is great information to know. So with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and move on to your charms group 2. I'd love to see what you guys have going on here. Let me know what you guys think about this situation, or if you feel like it's resonating. If you do not feel like this specific pile is resonating with you, feel free to check out piles 1, 2, or 3, 1 or 3. But I truly feel like that 9 of Pentacles should be coming in for the majority of you guys. So let's go ahead and look at your charms group 2. So group 2's week ahead. The week ahead for group 2. The week ahead for group 2. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for group 2. Week ahead. The week ahead for group 2. Okay, so a lot of charms just fell, so I'm going to pick up a few of those real quick here. All right, just checking around, seeing if there's anything. Sometimes I'll find that some aren't or have moved off the board, so okay. Oh, sorry, that was upside down. I'm going to pick up the ones that are upside down here and leave the ones that are right side up. So honestly, you don't have a lot going on in your focus, but there's a lot surrounding it. So it'd be interesting to know there what's going on. Right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move you in group 2 so you can see a little bit more clearly what's going on here. So first off, you have a chakra here in the center. So I'm going to go ahead and pull you a specific chakra, crown chakra card, because you got the crown chakra charm here in the center alongside flexible energy, so flexibility, and temporary energy. So being flexible and being knowing that your situation can be temporary, especially if it was that other side around that I was talking about with the Tower and the 5 of Pentacles. So let me go ahead and pull those cards out for you real quick. All right, so here they are. I'm going to go ahead and figure out which one is specifically for you guys this week. So group 2's crown chakra message here. What did we need to know about group 2's crown chakra this week? Crown chakra for group 2. What messages are coming in about group 2's crown chakra? I'm actually going to do it this way here. Okay. You guys got crown chakra, blue lace agate. So I actually don't have that to show you guys here, but this is what it looks like. But it says here, divinity, recognize the divine in the mirror, which represents finding the divine in ourselves, which I was talking about again with signs coming in, connecting with spirit, finding that earthly balance between earth and spirit. I feel like that is coming in for you guys. So it's time to be flexible. Look at yourself in the mirror, reflect on that, and see like what is coming in. You know, where do you find that divine masculine in you, divine feminine, divine in general, parts of ourselves, those spiritual soul level parts of ourselves that you can connect with. Possibly what's coming in with your finances is because you're actually pursuing something that is financially stable, but also it resonates with you on a soul level, on a spiritual level, because sometimes, you know, we can pursue goals and pursue things and we can be really good and successful in something, but it isn't something that is, you know, really fulfilling to our soul. So I feel like that's coming in, that you're recognizing that this week and you're finding that within yourself, and that those signs are coming in. There also is just a sense of, again, temporary and flexible energy this week, being flexible, noting when things are more temporary, that this week probably isn't like a mind-blowing week for some of you, but some of you are going to need to be more flexible this week about situations that arise. And some of those situations here, we have the monster charm, which represents our fears, our anxieties, our addictions, possibly too. The monsters in our lives, the things that aren't always too great. We have the monster charm, but then you have the transformation charm. You've opened yourself up, because here you have the butterfly, which is all about transformation, because you move from the caterpillar to the chrysalis to the butterfly. You have to go through a whole thing. And so you're transforming this week. You're opening yourself up. You're being more flexible to the idea of transforming, to possibly moving past old habits or old foundations that didn't serve you anymore because you had that tower moment, because you've had to go through hardships, or possibly going through financial hardships currently. So that's coming in for you. There's also a sense of it not being so black and white. So like I was saying, the situation could be blended. So yes, you may be prosperous one day, but then the next day things could be, crazy, because the world is pretty crazy right now with the pandemic at the time that I am filming this. So you're opening yourself up, you're being more flexible to the change that's happening in the world and around you on a financial level. But outside of that, someone could be, you could be a Libra, or someone around you could be a Libra. That is important to you this week, because you have the charming charm. All about Libras, which represents balance, right? So Libras are not only charming, but because they can be very vocal and very charismatic, but they also are very balanced, You're finding that renewal, you're finding that balance within yourself, because not only did you get a chakra balance card, but you got the specific balance card. So it's all about just balancing those chakras, being flexible to balance your spiritual side to your physical earthly side. Next to that, you have sort of a clump here. So this represents legal matters. It can represent marriage. It can also just represent something that is a strong bond. Because it's a ring, it represents lots of things and in different people's societies and cultures and lives. So this could represent marriage for some of you. It can also represent proposals, not only in like a marriage sense, like a relationship sense, but like business proposals coming in, or legal advice coming in, those sorts of things. And then you have next to it the pendulum. Right? So this represents things that are hanging on a line, things that are hanging from a string, things that are sort of hanging literally in the balance. So you might be feeling unbalanced, so things are feeling equally unbalanced in your chakra system as well. So there might be a proposal in terms of a marriage sense that is hanging in the balance, or you're having to wait to have this prosperous moment come in, because it's hanging in the balance at the moment. So some of you might be feeling that energy, like maybe you're waiting for marriage, you're waiting for a proposal to come on, or you're waiting for legal advice to come in. These are some things that might be happening for some of you. But what is important is that it's not going to last long, because you have that temporary energy again. So it's just being flexible, waiting your time. But you also have the cheetah energy, which represents things that are happening fast. And next to the fast energy, you have that pendulum. So it won't last forever, this hanging in the balance feeling. And you also have the rose-colored glasses, which represents, seeing things from sort of a foggier perspective, or from an enlightened perspective. So you might just be looking at things with rose-colored glasses, which can represent more positive moments, but it could just be that you're being more positive about these transformations that are happening in your life, because you have not only more of that like purple chakra energy, but I think of this as like more of that crown chakra energy. And then next to it, you have the budding charm. It has these little budding flowers. So I feel like you're budding, you're moving towards better growth, both in your throat chakra, which is more of that balance all the way up, communicating to spirit, like we were talking with those signs coming in, which can help you balance this week, but also just looking at yourself, maybe with those rose-colored glasses, looking at yourself in the mirror in a more divine way, in a more enlightened way. So that's coming in. That's lovely. You're growing in some way through that experience. You also have more money. So we have the dime, which is more than the penny. It's not like a whole quarter, but you are growing in your growth of money. And then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which again is more money coming in. So I really do feel like you are renewing yourself, and through renewing yourself with spirit and where you want this money to come in, and having this tower moment possibly in the past, which created this financial downfall, you have the Nine of Pentacles coming in. So you're going to be getting some money. You're going to be receiving money possibly this week because of effort that you put in. So if you don't put in the effort, it won't come out. And lastly, here you have the self-love charm. So this can do more with that balancing energy, because we have, balance in that beautiful pink. So it's time to balance yourself. And sometimes we can talk about self-love as in like taking a bath, having a spa day, like a more renewal self-love. But I think this is more like tough love, self-love, because sometimes we can indulge in those things that, are addictive, our fears, our anxieties, and let them overtake us. And that's not really a way to balance ourselves. It's not like self-love, I love cake so much I'm going to eat the whole cake and that's going to make me feel better. It's not that type of self-love. It's more like having enough courage and strength within yourself to renew yourself and build better habits, better ways in which to give love to not only your body but your spirit and mind as well. So it's sort of more of that kind of self-love energy coming in. So super good, exciting energy coming in for you guys. I'll go ahead and do a recap here. So here in your center, you're going to be working with the divine. In some way, you have a lot of energies embracing your more spiritual side here with the bird and the divinity and the chakra balancing, as well as look for the signs. So look for those signs that are coming in for you guys this week. You're going to be renewing your ideas on how to create prosperity for yourself, ones that are truly resonating with you on a soul level, versus like you may be prosperous in money, but you might not be prosperous in like how you actually feel about earning that money, or in that job or situation that you may be earning money, but you're not really loving the situation. So you're building a new tower, a new experience for yourself that's happening or has happened in previous weeks, and now you get to have and reap the rewards from that. You get to enjoy all the harvest that comes in a financial sense, because you have put in the work, that you have taken that time to grow a business or grow a idea from the start that is on a soul level with you, on a divine level with you. And so you're renewing that to move yourself forward, and that's really lovely energy to be coming in. Anything that's on like a legal or proposal based matter, that might be hanging in the balance, but it might be coming, things are starting to progress. It doesn't necessarily mean that's coming in, but it is progressing. Things are speeding up a little bit. You're seeing yourself in a better, more transformed light, and you're giving that self-love to yourself. It's really telling you to be flexible and let temporary energy come in where it needs to. And that money is coming in. It just needs to come in from hard, true, earned work that you really enjoy. So it's not even work itself, because you enjoy it so much it doesn't feel like work. So I hope you guys enjoyed your reading and that this was beneficial to you. Let me know in the comments down below if this is resonating, especially since there was sort of a dual energy here between these two different sides of the coin. I'd love to know down in the comments below if this is resonating, and just have a conversation about the charms or about specific cards. I'd love to know. Also, please be sure to give this video a like. It helps this channel grow and lets me know that you really did enjoy this reading and the readings that I've been putting out recently. And if you are new to the channel and this was your first reading with me, or one of your more recent readings with me, I do these readings every single Monday, these week ahead readings, as well as timeless readings and other magical creative videos, and those are coming out hopefully more soon. So if you're interested in any of that, please be sure and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you guys join this community. It's a lot of fun reading for each of you. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hello, Group 3. If you've decided to choose this peacock necklace, then this is the pile for you. I'll go ahead and set this pendant down for you just over here so you can see it throughout the reading. Today we're going to be using the charms, the watercolor affirmations, as well as, per request by my sister, whose birthday was today, she wanted me to use the Crystal Unicorn deck, as well as the Chakra Love and Language of Flowers Oracle. So let's go ahead and get started. I'd love to know more about your guys' week, as I'm sure you do. I hope you guys had a wonderful week last week and that the month has been treating you well. Let's see what any messages you have coming in for your week. So Group 3's week ahead. We're looking for Group 3's week ahead. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in. So you have the World here, as well as the Two of Pentacles. And then these are a whole clump of cards, so I'm not going to take those messages. But you do have the World and the Two of Pentacles. Let's see what else you have coming in Group 3. So Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 3's week ahead. The week ahead for Group 3, the week ahead for Group 3. Okay, so you also have here the Nine of Swords. So there's some differing energy here. I don't feel like they're all entirely related, but let's see what else is going on based off of your oracle cards. So we'll start with the Language of Flowers first. So Group 3's week ahead message, the week ahead message for Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 3. Any energy, some energy in that card. You have here awareness, wake up and roll the clouds away and look. So this is all about, moving things aside, clearing the fog, making things more aware, making things more clear. So let's see what else you have with your Chakra Love deck oracle. So we're going to pull one of these for you. They each have different chakra stones to help balance your chakras this week. So let's see which specific chakra you need balancing in or being more aware of this week. So Group 3's week ahead message based on their chakras. So Group 3's week ahead message, chakra balance. The week ahead for Group 3, the week ahead. Any messages or insights or guidance coming in for Group 3's week ahead. So here you have the root chakra. It says grounding here. Sink your roots deep. Connect them to the heart of the earth. And the stone here is red jasper. So that's what red jasper sort of looks like. It's a very opaque stone. I'll actually grab a little bit for you over here. So here is what red jasper looks like if you'd like to use it to balance your chakras this week and give you a grounding energy. It's one of my favorites. So I'll go ahead and set that down here for you so you can look at it. And lastly, we'll pull you one of these these watercolor affirmation cards. So Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 3. Here you have seek to forgive. Very important. Sometimes we don't forgive ourselves or forgive others in a situation. So there is forgiveness that is needed this week. Some sort of resolution or resolving of us, that sticky energy that sort of clings on to us. All right, so first off, I'm going to talk about the less exciting card here, because you have here the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords represents our anxieties, can represent depression, but it can also represent things that are, our nightmares or the things that roll around in our head for a while, like anxiety can sometimes do, that inner narrative in our inner voice that can tell us and whisper certain things that are usually and honestly most often untrue, and it just sort of becomes this like bigger, darker thing that we no longer need, but we feel too scared or too shy, or too frightened of a situation in which to move. We'll feel a little stuck in that energy, and it could be representing something that's anxiety based off of forgiveness, or based off a situation in which it's hard to forgive someone for maybe putting you in a certain situation or making you feel a certain way. So that could be happening here. And a great way to work through anxiety or work through those sorts of feelings that you might be having, that nervousness or that scarce feeling, is honestly to root yourself, to ground yourself in something, to find something that you can have control in, to find something that you can ground yourself into reality with, something you can hold on to and that is yours, and that can make you feel secure, because the root chakra is all about our security, our stability, our safety net. And when we're not feeling safe, that's when those anxieties come in, when we don't have that control of our situation. So find something to ground yourself with this week. Something, for me, a personal grounding exercise I love to use is going outside and putting my feet directly, without any shoes, right into the dirt, into the earth. Put your feet in the grass, put your feet in the sand, something like that to ground yourself down. Getting that sunshine is really important too, since this is nightly energy, and that's when our anxieties tend to come in the most, is at night. So finding some way to calm that down by grounding yourself in an activity, something that makes you feel mindful. Some people use specific textures too. There's lots of grounding exercises that you could look up online or that you possibly already practice that would be really helpful for you this week. Possibly with this forgiveness as well, that can help to ground yourself back down, and see things as they truly are. And more of that grounding energy is coming with awareness. Wake up and roll the clouds away and look. So this is looking at a situation for what it really is and not what we've sort of built it up to be. So moving that fog out of our eyes, looking at the true situation and being like, okay, so it's not as bad as I built it up to be. And I'm not saying that this is easy, but it is important to at least acknowledge the situation, or at least try to move some of that fog out of your brain, to move some of it away. And to do that is using grounding, because there's a big sense of balancing this week, based off of that chakra and based off of balancing yourself back out, because here you have the Two of Pentacles, which represents balancing and balancing well, or focus. It can also represent focus, but it is sort of a balancing act, holding something in, juggling something. So you might have been juggling a lot of things too, because the Two of Pentacles can represent you juggling something financially, or having to sort of keep a lot of focus on your finances or on a secure situation that you sometimes can have so much focus you can't look away from it, right? Like, that's what I'm talking about. Just ground yourself and move away from having this repeated cycle of this inner narrative that really doesn't serve you, right? So also with the Two of Pentacles, because I do feel like there's a situation, obviously there's anxiety there that can be financial, but there is a situation in which you are succeeding in, because the world represents something that we have, we're completing a chapter. It can represent completing a chapter on the Fool's journey, but it can also represent just achievement and celebration and being like so fulfilled because you achieved something. So this does represent achievement, success. So whatever you are worried about, there is success coming. There is some sort of achievement or something that's come full circle that has created, it can also represent karmic things, that have come back full circle, that you have now created enough karma that those anxieties don't have to be as worrisome. You have that sort of spiritual root or grounding that's happening of security. But It's also important to notice with the Two of Pentacles, if you have so much focus, this specific card doesn't necessarily show it, but so much focus on trying to balance. It's like if you're trying to juggle all day long, you may be doing really, 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 really good, but the moment somebody sort of throws you off or loses your focus, that's when everything kind of like click, 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 and the anxiety comes in. So it's important to let up a little bit, not put such high expectations on yourself, because you're holding it a little too tightly. You're focusing on the situation, this financial situation, a little bit too closely. You're looking at it from all those pros and cons and all those angles a little bit too highly. So just let yourself relax a little bit. Be aware, wake up and roll those clouds away. And especially since you have wake up, right? Wake up, and you have the dream card, because the Nine of Swords also represents nightmares or dreams or things that can fill our brains with this false narrative. This is you waking up, bringing that clarity of mind, that truth, that honesty, which can bring that forgiveness that I was talking about earlier, but it's mostly to ground you back down, back to reality, back to the real truth of a situation, so you can balance and bring that achievement into your life. So with all of that said, group 3, I'm going to go ahead and pull you some charms to get some more information possibly on this financial situation or the anxieties that are overriding you a little bit or trying to take over a little bit. So let's go ahead and see what you have going on, group 3. All right, so Group 3, you're looking for Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 3. Any energy, insights, or guidance coming in for Group 3's week ahead, the week ahead for Group 3, the week ahead for Group 3. Okay, so a couple of them did fall off the board, but I feel like lately I've been sort of seeing if they were meant to be on the board. So a couple of them were meant to be there. So let's go ahead and see more information here, and sort of pick through to figure out what is sort of going on for your week, taking out the ones that were upside down, and I will go ahead and zoom you in so you can see more clearly what's going on here on the board. So down here, this is just that chakra stone, so you don't have to worry too much about that. I'll just set it over here on the side. But here are your charms. So here in the center, you have the react charm. So this represents things that we have in our control, how we react to a situation. It also can represent not only how we react, but also how we look at our actions, how we view our actions. So you might have anxiety about an action in which you have to take, possibly about forgiving someone, how you're going to react to that and how you have reacted in the past to a situation, possibly because you are seeking forgiveness or there's someone you need to forgive. So that might be coming in for some of you. You also have here the icicle charm, and this icicle represents being prepared or having caution, being prepared and having caution for a situation, or looking at the precautions for a situation, following those rules and guidelines. But there's also a sort of sense of things freezing, as in like things frozen in time. Like I was saying, you might have been cycling over and over something in your head and it's just sort of looping, which is sort of freezing it in time, this reaction, this thing that maybe you feel like you need to seek forgiveness on, because that sort of seems like some of you might be feeling like you need to be forgiven for a situation in which you now have anxiety over, something you've been focusing on really hard, and so just you talk to those people, try to ask for that forgiveness that you need, or that forgiveness might be coming in soon. Seek it out if you need to, and maybe look at those reactions less in inner narrative way that creates anxiety, and more in like an honest, true way, so that you can create transformation and move forward instead of focusing on them so much that you don't actually create any viable change. So that's there as well. What I find interesting is this charm here, because I said wake up and roll the clouds away, right? Like that you had some sort of fogginess that was happening. And here is the cloudy weather charm, right? Because it looks like cloudy weather. You can't see all the way in. Things are a little cloudy. Things are possibly under the weather too. So you might be feeling a bit under the weather mentally this week. And rooting yourself down is so important. Finding that balance over that focus, that overriding focus, and finding balance instead. And it seems like you're going to achieve it. You're going to find that this week. It's just sort of seeking it out in a way that isn't just waiting for it to happen, being prepared and going after that instead of waiting for this anxiety to go away. Actually create that change for yourself where you can and when you can. Because there is sort of an inner child positivity that's coming in here, because I think of that when I see this specific charm. It makes me think of like inner child positivity, the sun sort of energy. So you might be bringing that clarity, that awareness in, you're waking up to that. You also got the heart chakra charm. So I am going to go ahead and pull out all the heart chakra cards and be back in a minute to figure out what that specific message is for you guys. All right, so here are all of the heart chakra cards. Let's go ahead and see what needs to be set on your heart chakra this week. So Group 3's heart chakra. What do we need to know about Group 3's heart chakra this week specifically? What did we need to know? What awareness needs to come in? Okay, so here you have heart chakra, jade. Can be a stone to use. I'll actually grab that real quickly for you guys. Here's a piece of jade that I own personally, so that could be really helpful for you guys for balancing that heart chakra. It's also sort of a root chakra stone as well, so I can definitely see how they're working together. But on top of that, you have compassion, right? So compassion, resolve your conflicts with compassion. And there is a forgiveness here, right? You wanting some forgiveness, or you're wanting to forgive someone else. There is a forgiveness there. So have compassion, look at people for their mistakes and know that they're moving forward, that they're trying to be better. And if their sorries are there, their true and actionable change is there, then that's really good, stable energy to have in a forgiving conversation, a conversation about forgiveness, a conversation that isn't just sorries, but ones with actionable change that come from those sorries that actually mean something, and that are going to create and progress in your relationship. So that can be you seeking forgiveness and needing to create change in your life in order to do that, or you're seeking to forgive someone else for something that they have done. But you do have the caution hat represents being cautious of someone or a situation, but you've sort of thrown caution to the wind, because sometimes this charm falls where the hat is down, but in this case it fell open, which means you're being more open to the compassion coming in. You're not feeling as guarded. And on top of that, you also have the charm of memories, old memories and old conversations coming in, old memories and thoughts, and traveling possibly too. So being more compassionate about a situation revolving around things like that could be really important for you this week. The person in which you might feel like you need to be forgiving or has some relation to that, we do have the brother charm here, because it says 2 brothers here on the label, but it also is the twisted charm, or something that feels twisted, or you're trying to sort of mesh, or I feel like this is it can be mind games. It can mean things are being twisted, or words are getting twisted. Things aren't really aligning entirely right. So what's interesting is it fell on the last quarter moon, which is all about releasing, right? Releasing those situations. So you might have had a conflict that had happened. Resolve your conflicts with compassion. A conflict that had happened where things really weren't aligning. Your conversation wasn't working and things were, clashing really badly. And so now you are able to create that forgiveness or have forgiveness come in for you. It can be a bit of forgiveness on both sides. Outside of that, though, you do have the bear claw charm on the hibernation side. If you're familiar with the bear claw charm in my set, it has bear claw on one side where it's centered, which makes me think of like the bear on the prowl, kind of thing. And then this is the bear claw side where it's sort of off balance here, which showcases the hibernating bear, the one that's looking for resources and getting ready for winter. So that might be resonating with you specifically on a situation, less so with the forgiveness. I think it's a more specific message in general, just to rejuvenate and take that time. And then lastly here you have a little clump of finances coming in. This is the finance charm, the like jingle jingle, I'm getting some money soon. So that's exciting for your finances. You also have the charm of more fogginess. So it could be, but then you also have the charm of showing your stripes. So I feel like something about your finances is getting cleared up. Maybe it had something to do with a financial argument that's getting cleared up this week. But most of the charms are really speaking on clearing out some of that anxiety, and a lot of it's going to get cleared out by being compassionate and creating a resolving situation, an awareness, a resolve towards a situation, like with this world, a resolve about the forgiveness that needs to come in for the focus and anxiety that you've had over this past argument or conflict that had come in. Now's your time to let that sort of settle back down. There also is the sense of using your root chakra and your heart chakra this week to create that balance, right? And it's time with this Two of Pentacles, instead of focusing so hard on the anxiety that's coming in, instead create actionable change that can create that balance in your life for realsies, instead of just sort of hanging in the balance there. So lastly, just look for being prepared for your actions and how you react to this compassion that you're bringing in, these conversations that you're going to be having. Instead of creating more clash, be sure that you are open to the conversation and that you are, instead of just acting out, really listen and be an active listener and an active person in this conversation to create a good change, to create actionable change and apologies. So I hope all of this had made sense for you and that it resonated, and I hope that these conflicts do get resolved this week, as it seems they will with the world. Let me know down in the comments below if you feel like this is resonating. I'd love to have conversations with you guys down below and love to see how and what charms and specific cards are really resonating with you or connecting with you on a specific level. Even ones that I didn't specifically talk about. It's lovely to hear. Also, be sure to give this video a like if you did like it. It does help this channel grow and lets me know that you did enjoy the video and enjoy this reading and this type of reading. And lastly, if you are interested in these weekly readings, I do them every single Monday, as well as monthly readings and other timeless fun readings, and some magical creative content on the side there too. So if you're interested in any of that, please be sure to and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you guys a part of this channel and this community that is growing here. It's been so much fun having each of you guys join and tell your stories and just create this community. So feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you here. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!